All right, everyone, welcome back to another installment in the epic saga of analyzing these CS2 sticker collections. Today, we'll be looking at the Elemental Craft sticker pack for the last time before it is removed from the Armory. If you're in the loop, I'm more sure than not that the Armory is going to rotate at the start of this new month, April 2026. Sure, you can believe that maybe Valve just has decided to forego the 6-month period, but I'm going to subscribe to the fact that I think the Armory will rotate in a few days, and if you agree with that, then you should subscribe to my channel. Also, guys, I will be hosting a giveaway in my Discord once again, so please watch to the end of the video to get information on this giveaway. But in the meantime, let's take a look at our maybe last pre-discontinuation Elemental Craft sticker pack sticker application data. Briefly, if you're new to this channel, I will be reviewing all of the sticker application information. This is all collected by myself from CSFloat database. I do the math myself, put it all into a chart, and get some nice information for you. First, I'll be taking a look at the raw application data, and then I'll be moving on to kind of tracking the trends over time as I've been collecting this information for the past few months. That's where I think the information is really helpful, so stick around and watch that part too. This is all updated and up to date as of the 29th of March 2026. Guys, let's get right into it. We are looking at the blue stickers first. And for the blue stickers, we see pretty much the same trends as we have previously. The only change is these two stickers swapped place. The Boom Epicenter has surpassed the Boom Detonation sticker, so I feel really bad for all of my Boom Det fans out there. Boom Epicenter is on the rise. Wow. Aside from that, the only sticker in the blue category that has not surpassed 100,000 applications is our Boom Blast sticker. The rest have all surpassed and done much better than 100,000. Taking a look at our categories, we can see a couple of trends. Our winners in each category, that being 1x crafts all the way up to 2 through 5 or more x crafts, are seen here in the yellow. Our most 1x or more applied sticker is the Winding Scorch regular sticker. The most 2x or more, 3x or more, or 4x or more applied sticker by far is the Bolt Charge, with a commanding lead by a lot in most of these categories, especially as we get closer to the 5x. However, the winner for the 5x overall is the High Heat. It has the most 5x applications at 5,500. Our second place winners in each of these categories is seen here in the gray or silver numbers. We can see a little bit of a different story. Our High Heat is the most 1 or more X applied, 2 or more X applied, or 4 or more X applied, showing that it has got pretty good demand across our lower tier, applications. Aside from that, our other two second place spots go to Hydro Wave, with the second most 3 or more applications and the second most 5X applications at 4,200 applications. Very cool. And for our third place winners, we can see them circled here in the bronze color. Nothing really surprising here. Our third place winners are all pretty much categorized into these top 6 or so stickers. There is an outlier, which I will get to, but our third most 1 or more X applied sticker is just a regular old Scorch Loop. That is also the third most 4 or more X applied. Our third most 2 or more X applied is Bolt Strike. Our third most 3 or more applications is High Heat, and interestingly enough, our third most 5x applied sticker is Hot Rod Heat, which is very interesting considering it's so far up, or I guess down, our total applications. It's the 11th most applied sticker out of 15, so a very unpopular sticker, but apparently it has pretty good applications at 5x. Additionally, guys, I collect all this information, but I also calculate the average sticker per weapon, just meaning how frequently a sticker is applied multiple times when it is applied. Going from least to most in our little average sticker per weapon category, we have a very strong 1.52 from our Scorch Loop Reverse sticker. Just after that is a 1.53 from the Hot Rod Heat mentioned previously. Just after that is High Heat, which is pretty strong at a 1.63 considering how many applications it has at these lesser applied numbers. So very impressive from High Heat on that regard. And then naturally, Bolt Strike, coming in third place overall applications, does very well at a 1.65. And the two biggest winners on our average applications per weapons is the Hydro Wave, coming in with a very strong 1.72, and Bolt Charge coming in with the best for the blues at 1.85 applications per weapon. So more often than not, these stickers are getting applied at least twice, bordering toward more than that. And you can see that reflected in the numbers quite well. Hydrowave, comes in very strong for not being the most applied sticker overall due to the, involvement with the infamous Flex butt cheek sticker craft. It's very strong at 56,000, 2 or more X applied stickers. And then Bolt Charge just, leading the way very strongly in our 2 through 4 or more X applied crafts, doing very well on that front. I would like to point out that the hype is real and that High Heat does have a podium finish, at least somewhere on the podium, for each and every one of my sticker categories, so it's doing quite well. Alright, now that we're done with the blues, we can go ahead and look and see how these stickers have done over the last few months. Just scroll over here and we can see this awesome chart. It's a little cluttered at first, but if you want to direct your eyes to this month, that's the month that we'll be looking at, the month of March. I am just showing all this for proof that I have tracked this over time, and we can see the total change in sticker applications per sticker over time. So I want to point out just generally that if you look over here, this is the total difference, just raw number applications. Obviously, stickers that are more popular and are applied more often will have a larger number here, but I think it's very important is to see the relative change, to see maybe where there's some different attention where stickers are being applied more frequently. I want to point out that this is a sticker collection that has been in the game for more than a year and a half now. People, have seen these stickers, they know what they look like, and the blues are typically not very desired just overall. But I want to point out that yes, it's been a few months since the last time I collected this information, but that's less important than this information right here. All right, this is zoomed in a little much, but this percent change metric is really strong across the board for all of these stickers. None of them dipped below 10% over the last 2 months or so. And while that's maybe not impressive, obviously this metric means a little less as the sticker application numbers get bigger and bigger and bigger over time, which they are. Percent change is less relevant in terms of actual size, but proportionality between the stickers is very strong. I mean, the worst performing sticker increased by 10.66% and the best did 14. That means that there's pretty decent distribution of demand across these stickers across the board, which says a lot for stickers that are so old, so numerous, and when there's 15 in the same collection. I do want to say that I think blues are going to be a hard investment to grow in the long term just because of the supply issue mainly, but this is very strong for a collection this old. The biggest winner in raw application data is the Bolt Charge. It grew 27,300 applications in the last 2 months or so. The biggest winner in relative change is the Boom Blast, our least applied sticker. It gained 12,000 applications or a 14% increase. Our second place winner for most differential is High Heat, our most applied sticker, with just shy of 27,000 applications, or just more than 11% for its total application number. And our second place winner for relative applications is the Scorch Loop Reverse at 12.51%. I'd like to note how big of a difference between first and second there is, and how close to the mean the second place is. I mean, a lot of these stickers did really well, around 10 to 12%. Our third place for most applications in raw form is the Bolt Strike, our third most applied sticker overall, with 26,000 applications. And our third biggest winner for the relative application increase is the Boom Epicenter, with a 12.41% increase. Again, I don't think there's any outliers really to see any difference in the relative change because most of these stickers did well. If most of these stickers were 8, 7%, and then one of them was suddenly 15%, then yes, that'd be worth noting. But overall, the blues are doing quite well. They have the average increase of 11.72% across all of these mini stickers, with a total of just over 275,000 applications over the last few months, with a total actual application of 2.65 million. Doing very well. I think the overall takeaway for this chart is that the blues are actually doing kind of well. I don't think that means that they're going to be great investments over time due to an innate supply issue, but I think that's just a good sign for the collection overall, that we're this far into the life of this sticker collection and it's still doing this well. Alright guys, enough yapping, let's see some pretty pictures. This is the information I just showed you charted over time. You can kind of see the gap in time between a couple of different entries, most recent being right here. And you can see that, the interesting finding here was before I'd corrected for application estimations from CS Float, it said that High Heat was far and away the most applied sticker, and Bolt Charge was not even close. But after adjusting for those corrections, we can see that the race is actually really tight. Bolt Charge is only behind High Heat by about 4,000 applications. So if you want to invest in a sticker that's really well applied, a lot cheaper than High Heat, and still has really good fundamentals behind it, I would say maybe look at Bolt Charge. The rest of the stickers are pretty well evenly distributed in terms of applications, and then we have a couple ones lagging behind. Our Boom Epicenter, Detonation, and Blast all doing very poorly with regard to the rest of the collection. Okay, that's the blues. Y'all want to look at the purples now? Alright, I'm much more excited to talk about the purples because I think the purples are just a much more interesting category of stickers to begin. They have really good application numbers for being 5 times as rare. Evidently enough, though, the supply is going to be distributed a little bit differently between these stickers and the blues. The blues have 15 unique stickers. The purples have 5, so that's a difference of 1/3 or 300%, whatever you want to look at. But the application numbers are still really good for these purples, considering that they are a little bit more rare. So as I circle the gold winners, we can see that one of them is far and away the most impressive, but I'll start. The Boom Det Glitter is our number 1, just by a few hundred applications on the 1 or more total applications at 80,000. The Boom Trail Glitter is our Big Daddy, being number 1 in 2 or more, 3 or more, and 4 or more applications, far and away. Like, we're talking factors of 2 to 3 in some of these instances. And then our most 5x applied sticker is the Rainbow Route Hollow. So if you like the Rainbow Route, you might want to buy 5 at a time, because it seems that people tend to apply 5 at a time. Alright, and our second place winners for these categories are a little bit more evenly distributed, not so much totally Boom Trail, but Boom Trail is the second most 5x applied and or 1 or more x applied sticker. The Boom Blast Glitter is the second most 2 or more x applied, and Rainbow Route comes in at second for the 3 or more, 4 or more x applied categories. I just want to point out how dominating Boom Trail Glitter is, being either first or second in every single category, only being beaten out by outliers like Rainbow Route in the 5x category or Boom Det by a couple hundred applications. So really, Boom Trail remains to be the most strongly applied sticker in the bunch. Aside for that, the third most applied applications in the 1x or more category go to the Boom Epicenter Glitter, and then everything else in third place or more is Boom Det Glitter, coming in third place for all of our 2 through 5x applications. We have pretty good average sticker per weapon metrics here, but you can see too that outlie the rest. The Rainbow Route Hollow is very strong because it has that very strong 5x performance, and the Boom Trail Glitter is very strong as well because of these mid-tier category being so far ahead of the rest with regard to how many 1x's there are. So it does very well too. I like both of those stickers on paper. Interestingly enough though, it seems that Boom Blast has overtaken Rainbow Route in terms of going from the 4th most applied sticker to now 3rd most applied. Could this be due to price? Could this be due to a lack of interest? I don't know. I know a lot of people really like the Rainbow Route as an investment, but the intrinsic demand seems to be hindered by, I guess, the high price. Alright, let's take a look at the trends over time. Again, this is the month we're looking at, and these are the months I've collected previously. Our biggest winner in raw applications is, again, the Boom Trail Glitter with just shy of 13,000 applications, very strong for a purple. And our biggest relative change is the Boom Blast Glitter with a 12.05% change with just shy of 10,000 applications. So again, very strong. Our second place winners for the raw and relative is Boom Det Glitter at the second place for raw, just shy of 12,000, and Boom Epicenter, the second biggest change relatively, just shy of 12%. And in third place, our third most raw application change is the Boom Blast Glitter, and our third most relative change is the Boom Detonation Glitter, again just shy of 12%. The average for this category overall was 10.69% increase, which is pretty good when you consider that Rainbow Route only had a 6.95% increase over the last couple months. Overall though, the purple stickers are doing quite well, just shy of 520,000 applications. Okay, we can look at all this information over time. Alright, and up here is our stickers and their colors. We can see that Boom Trail Glitter is just far and away the most applied. Boom Detonation is kind of stranded out in second as well. And then surprisingly, like, our 3 least applied stickers are neck and neck, which is crazy when you consider Rainbow Route is competing for last with Boom Blast Glitter and Boom Epicenter Glitter. Okay, and moving on to the foils, we can see some interesting metrics as well. I didn't really care to do the colors for this category just because there's only 4 of them, but we can see some interesting finds here as well. Bolt Energy Foil, the cheapest sticker, is actually the most 1 or more X applied sticker, so it's doing quite well there. Bolt Charge Foil is our most 2 or more X applied sticker, And then Winding Scorch, our most expensive sticker, is coming in at first in both the 3, 4 or more, and 5x applied categories. Winding Scorch Foil, even though it's the most expensive sticker, is doing quite well in terms of fundamental application data, if I don't say so myself. We can see that the total application numbers are very neck and neck, except for, Bolt Energy Foil. The rest are very close together, competing for first. So we don't have to be that surprised when we see a position change, with Bolt Charge Foil taking second place away from Winding Scorch Foil, now in third place. We can see that our 4 foil stickers have pretty decent average sticker per weapon applications, namely the Bolt Strike coming in at 1.75, the Bolt Charge coming in at 1.78, and the best sticker in the entire elemental pack in terms of average sticker applications per weapon is the Winding Scorch Foil, being applied on average 2.18 times per weapon craft, and that's just because it's so dang strong in these higher quality categories, namely that 5x. So, if you purchase Winding Scorch Foils, it might be a good idea to try and purchase 3 to 5 at a time, because people seem to be applying them 3 to 5 times at a time. Okay, and we can look at the change in applications over time. Again, this is our column that we'll be looking at. Bolt Strike Foil takes first place in both categories with 5,300 actual applications and an 11.76% change. Very strong. And the story stays the same for Bolt Charge Foil now. Second place at just over 5,000 applications, or an 11.3% increase. And then Winding Scorch and Bolt Energy decide to split things up, with Bolt Energy being our third most relatively applied sticker with an 11% increase, and Winding Scorch Foil coming in at 4,500 applications, the third most. This whole pink category is actually doing quite well. We had 18,730 applications over the last 2 or so months, with a very strong 11.03% increase, which, if you compare it to the previous categories, is only bested by the blues, which I believe have an 11.7% increase on average. So very strong, considering that these stickers all have pretty interesting demand differences. Just like Winding Scorch is like a multiple craft one. The rest, like Bolt Strike and Charge, are very often applied 1 or 2x, and then Bolt Energy just being so under applied, and yet they all have decently demand when looking at relative changes. Okay, and looking at our growth over time, yeah, the story stays the same. The Bolt Energy Foil, our cheapest sticker, is dead last by about 10,000 applications, and the rest are neck and neck. And it looks like that lead has maybe gone for Bolt Strike Foil, getting a couple hundred placements above the rest. As you can see, a little gap forming there, but man, it's close, and this could probably change at any given time. Okay, last and not least, we're going to look at the lenticulars very quickly. Here we can see some pretty straightforward observations. The Ruby Stream, our cheaper sticker, is the more applied in our lesser quality categories, the 1 through 3 or more X applications, while the Ruby Wave, our more expensive sticker, is actually doing better in our higher quality categories, the 4X or more, or 5X or more applications. Overall, the Ruby Stream comes in at the most applications at just over 15,500, which is not surprising considering that it is much cheaper than the Ruby Wave, which is about 4,000 applications behind the Ruby Stream. Ruby Stream also has a very good average sticker per weapon applications for a red. I think that probably has to do with the 4,400 2x or more applications it has. This is most likely due to what I'm assuming to be the Glock 18 Shinobu craft that a lot of people do. I gotta assume that's why it's like that. Okay, and looking at our change over time, we can see in this column our changes over the last few months. We can see that the Ruby Stream, our cheaper sticker, increased the best over this period of time, just shy of 1,300 applications, or an 8.88% increase over the last few months, while the Ruby Wave, our more expensive sticker, had an increase of about 900 applications, or an 8.28% increase relative to its total supply, which is pretty decent when you consider how expensive of a sticker it is, that it's kind of keeping up relative demand with its much cheaper brother. Alright, and we can see on the graph that, Ruby Wave is behind still by Ruby Stream. And I don't think the relative change was that big of a difference. I guess technically Ruby Stream got a little bit of a bigger lead over Ruby Wave this month, or the last few months, but it's negligible. These stickers are, I would honestly consider them almost independent of each other. They're kind of unique to each other. Okay guys, and now we can look at the actual applications for the entire collection. We can see that the blues have 2.65 million applications, the purples just shy of 520,000 applications, the pinks just shy of 190,000 applications, and the reds at 27,000 applications, for a total actual application of 3.39 million stickers for the Elemental Craft sticker pack. Looking at the breakdown of the distributions, we can see that blues have about 78.3% of the total applications, purples have a very strong 15.3%, and pinks have a very strong relative 5.6%. Again, this is all relative to the blue applications. Typically, the rarity breakdown means that pink should be about 3%, purple should be about 8 or so percent, and blue should be about 80%. But we don't see that. We see the pinks and purples being much stronger, and the reds are just over 1%, which is as we would expect compared to the blue applications. This is our graph for the change in supply to each of the qualities over this long period of time. This is all the raw data up here, but what I'd like to point your attention to is this group of cells down here. We can track and see how the percent change has gone over the last few months. Now, I do want to say that, this is a 2-month period of time, so if you really want to be a cynic, you can divide these figures in half. But as our application total numbers increase, the percentages are obviously going to decrease, as I mentioned before. But we can see that, relative to the rest, it looks like things are kind of back on track. The pinks have done exceedingly well as the reds have done exceedingly well compared to previous months. Man, I guess December to January was just a really bad month for elemental. The only one that broke double digits was the purple, and it broke it barely. Whereas here we have 3 of our 4 qualities breaking double digits, and the reds, obviously getting close, but no cigar. But I do want to point that since I started collecting this information back in October, we can see that the biggest winner in terms of relative change to its supply was the purple at 55%. The blues came in second at 52%, the pinks in third place at 45%, and the reds in fourth place at 37%. So, and let me focus in and talk about this for a little bit. So, obviously the elementals are doing pretty well overall. The blues, despite being pretty common, have very well distributed demand across, all the different stickers with decent relative changes over the last few months. The purples still have very impressive numbers despite their rarity. I think they're doing very well, but man, it's just hard to ignore the dominance of Boom Trail Glitter. The pinks have very interesting metrics as well. I think you could really pick any of these stickers and they would probably do well over time. It's really just pick your poison. I mean, some of these stickers, man, the Winding Scorch Foil has this really good average sticker per weapon. The Bolt Charge is just a good overall applications, and Bolt Strike is that sneaky first place with just over 50,000 applications. And I mean, even Bolt Energy is doing quite well for how cheap it is compared to the rest of these stickers. And then honestly, for the reds, I can't really tell you much except that, maybe either is going to do fine. These are very rare stickers despite the huge supply. So if you want to cut through a supply issue, maybe consider the reds or the pinks if you are worried about a supply issue. So yeah, overall guys, I'm pretty confident in the Elemental Craft sticker pack. I do not think that they're going to go the way of the Character Craft sticker pack and kind of fade into obscurity and stagnation. I think the Elementals are going to do well. They have a lot of intrinsic application demand just due to the nature of the design of their stickers. And, a couple of these stickers, like, honestly, I'm going to shout it out again. I don't even think I have any of these, but the Hot Rod Heat, man, we have an upcoming racing sticker collection, and, Hot Rod Heat is a unique sticker just to the blue category. It looks very much racer Hot Wheels style, so if you want a crazy, kind of go for it pick, I'd say Hot Rod Heat. It did really well. Yeah, guys, the Elemental sticker pack is probably on its way out, guys. This might be your last time to pick them up for non-discontinued prices, but of course I do not have a crystal ball. I cannot tell you 100% surely what's going to happen come April 2nd. But guys, in the event that Valve does not remove the Elemental Craft sticker pack from the Armory and rotate it on, let's say, by April 2nd, I will do a giveaway. I will be giving away, I'm going to be giving away 8 Battlescar Hollow stickers. I estimate it to be, about $100 or so, so I'll put my money where my mouth is. If Valve does not rotate the Armory by April 2nd, I will be hosting a giveaway in my Discord for these 8 stickers, roughly about $100 value. And if you want to join, come join my Discord. Be on the lookout. You got to wait a couple days because I got to wait for the trade cooldown to cool down for these stickers. But yeah, guys, I'm fairly confident that this is going to have a change. And in the event that this video doesn't get out in the time that they do rotate it, I'll still be giving it away. And honestly, guys, maybe I'll just give it away anyway. Just feeling a little charitable. Thank you guys so much for the continued appreciation that you guys give me. I appreciate all the comments. I'm still lurking. Life is busy, man. Working is fun, but man, it's busy. I don't have as much time to dedicate to videos as I would like to, but I'm still doing my best. So I appreciate you guys watching, liking, commenting. Please let me know what you thought of this video. If you're new to the channel, come join the Discord and come join our community. And I just thank you so much for your time, and I hope you guys have a blessed day.